Okay, so I have a drawing here where the end user was saying that every time they go up to 3D and then come back down to 2D, the drawing zooms all the way out, or it just becomes invisible, or it becomes a tiny dot. And I'll follow through on that first. Let me raise it to 3D. Okay, so here we are. The drawing is up in 3D. I do see a few issues here where I believe that the hanger is showing up and it thinks the pipe is on the floor when in reality it's here. Now, this is not part of the problem, but I just wanted to point that out. If you see something like this, then those hangers probably have to be fixed so that they're showing up to be on the pipe, not on the floor. But regardless, what will happen is now you're going to see me, I'm going to drop back down to 2D, and you saw when the drawing was opened, we could see the drawing itself, but when we return to 2D, it looks like it completely disappeared. And I'm going to confirm a couple things here. Now, I'm going to try, again, I can't really see anything. If you're observant, you might notice there's a little dot out here. And if I move around, I see another dot here. And if you move around a little bit more, you might see another dot out here. Now, what's happening is one of these three dots is the drawing. I have a strong suspicion this is the drawing right here. And another method that might make it easier to find things is by turning on clean screen. So if I type out the word clean screen, what that does is it takes away everything from AutoCAD, and it may make it easier to find something. All of your toolbars, all those other tools just kind of go away. And what I usually do is I'll pan around and you'll see something moving, something will catch your eye, and these three objects should catch your eye here. Now here's what we want to do. The problem is if I try to zoom window, if I try to roll my wheel and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, you can keep rolling forever and you won't find that object. So one thing that you can do is you can select the object, so highlight it like that, and then I'm going to turn my clean screen off. So now that I have my properties window back, I can select that, go to properties, and I can see, number one, is it just a single item or are there a group of items? And I can see right here that it's just a single item, which is my HCAD 3D hangers layer. So there's just a single 3D hanger just floating out in space here. I feel confident enough that I can delete that. So I'm going to delete that, and then I'll zoom extents again. And now I can see one dot over to the far left here, right in here, and I see another dot over here. So I know for sure now we've kind of dealt with that other issue. Again, I'll select this, I'll go to properties, and again, it's just a single 3D hanger out there, so I'm going to feel confident to delete that. And now I'll zoom extents again, double click my wheel, and we still have a single, oh, there we go. And it brought everything back. So there were two dots, like probably about 100 miles south of this location and another 100 miles to the east of this, or probably more than that because we couldn't zoom in. It was probably 1,000 miles south and 1,000 miles east. So that's one way to find the object. It's to do that. Now, the other thing that you could do, I'm going to reopen this drawing so that we have the dots again. I'm not going to save it. One thing that you can kind of do is one trick is to figure out where 0, 0 is. Now, if sometimes it's difficult to find that dot, or you might have a dot, an object drawn, but its insertion point is many, many, many miles away. So again, doing that may not work, but here's another method that you can do at least to get you back to where you want to go. So I'm going to zoom extents on this. So I'll double click my wheel. I'll zoom extents. So now we know we have a dot here, and a dot down here. But one thing that you can do is, here's a little trick. You can type out the word zoom. So if your drawing was drawn near 0, 0 or in that vicinity, you can type out the word zoom. You can tell it you want to zoom a window. So I'm going to click on the word window. The first corner of my window will be 0, 0, enter. And the second corner of my window will be 1,000, 1,000. And what that does is it forces it to zoom to 0, 0 and 1,000, 1,000. And there we go. It brought us back to where we want to be. And at least you can kind of get an idea of where you are. A second thing that you can do is you can save this as a view. So I'm going to next type in the word view, enter. I'm going to create a new view. And my view name will be, I'll call it home. And or 00 or something like that, but I'll call mine home. And I'll use the current display as my home, or I can define a new window by making a box. Yeah, actually, I can make a bigger box that goes like from here to here. And then I can hit, it says press enter to accept, so I'll press enter. And that's it. And then now I can click OK. Now what will happen, I'll click OK. And what will happen is in your list of views, you'll see a view called C, HCAD temp, home, which is what we just created, P, and system model and layout views. So I'll click OK here, and I'll double click my wheel to zoom extents, and we have our dots. We have our 3 dots right in this area here. And if you want to get your zoom back really quick, or your view back, I can type out the word view, enter, and then I can double click on home. So I'll double click home, or I guess click it, then click OK. And it'll take me back to that view. All right, so 3 different ways to do this. You can find the objects which are drawn way out in space. You can do a zoom window and use 00 as the base. Or you can save a view once you get back to what you need it to be. So even if you can't find the object that's way out in space, this is another way to do it. Okay, so hopefully this will be helpful to get past that issue. And thank you for watching this video.